Hey, what's up everybody? It's pouring down rain out here, but I just walked my 100th mile. So I want to talk about it. I need to get to dry weather though, so roll the intro. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video on this channel. My name's Chase. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and also let me know what you guys thought about that new intro there. So like the title of this video says, and like I said at the very beginning, I just finished walking 100 miles in the month of April. I didn't walk it all at once, but I walked it all in 1 month. It all started at the beginning of this month when I saw that my friend and fellow YouTuber, church planter, awesome guy, Trey Van Camp posted this video.
In the month of April, I plan on walking a grand total of 100 miles, all while praying for the people of Queen Creek and Santan Valley.
And so I asked him, I was like, hey, is it cool if I just post the exact same video that you did pretty much? So I did this. And during the month of April, I'm committed to walking 100 miles just while praying for the people of Nordonia and the surrounding communities. When I asked him if I could do that, I don't know if he thought that I would literally rip it off like the exact same thing, but I got no shame. But this month I walked 100 miles. And if you're new to this channel or you stumbled on this video, I'm a pastor, church planter. And so the goal was for me to walk 100 miles this month while praying. And I did. And I learned so much from it, and I want to share with you guys 5 things that I learned this month while praying. What's up, Ada? What's wrong? So while she's looking for rocks, I'm gonna go outside and walk, and I'm gonna take you guys with me. Even though I already hit the 100-mile marker, I love being outside and walking, so I'm gonna go do it again and take you guys with me. I feel like Mr. Rogers. All right, so the first thing I learned is, all right, so I'm sitting here editing, and as I'm editing, I realized that apparently the camera just shut off when I was in the middle of talking about the first point. I was saying that the first thing that I learned was just the importance of exercise and staying fit, especially during this time of quarantine and all that. Anyway, I explained it much better earlier, so let's just get back to the video. Last summer, I would run through the neighborhood, and I need to get back into that habit. Maybe this walking will go to the next progression, and maybe I'll start running. Our neighborhood doesn't have sidewalks, though. I really wish that it did have sidewalks. The other kind of fun thing that I learned before I get into the serious stuff is that I had no idea how many interesting places there were here in my own community. I mean, look at this. There's an entire train yard, like pretty much right behind our house, about half a mile away. I lived here for over a year and I had no idea that this place exists. I really want to take the drone up, which is the whole reason I've got this book bag on. Usually I'm not walking around carrying a backpack, but it's slightly, I feel like it's gonna start raining like right as soon as I take it up. I don't know. I mean, I guess a little bit of water never hurt any electronics, right? It's starting to rain just a little bit. So before I take it up, let me tell you the third thing that I learned this month while walking and praying, and that's just the importance of prayer. I went to a conference back in October, which is actually where I met Trey Van Camp for the first time, and the whole thing was about prayer. And just ever since then, I've just felt so convicted by the lack of prayer in my life. I was reading a book, Letters to the Church by Francis Chan, and he says in that book that he tells his pastoral team that if they don't pray at least 3 hours a day, then basically they need to find a new job. And I was like, man, 3 hours a day, that seems like a lot. But after walking this month, I've not only been refreshed in my knowledge of the importance of prayer, but the enjoyment in prayer as well. Like, I would walk for about an hour just praying, sometimes listening to music, maybe listening to a sermon, but just spending time with the Lord. And by the time I circled back around to my house, I was like, that's it. So I found just a refreshment in the importance of prayer and also the enjoyment of prayer. The rain stopped a little bit. This might be a good time to go fly it. Well, I don't know why I'm going back to where I was. I want to just fly it from right here.
In my own ministry, I teach on prayer a lot, and I use the pattern that Jesus gave us, which always begins with our Father who art in heaven. All prayer begins with God, not with us. It's about God's character, God's will, God's glory, not our personal and selfish needs. And that is a worship-based approach to prayer. He who comes to God must believe that He is. And that's why Jesus said, your prayer of faith always begins with our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. And the representation of all that God is, seeking not His hand, what we need from Him, but first and foremost seeking His face, and that is who He is. I often say if all we ever do is seek God's hand, we may miss His face. But if we seek His face, He will be glad to open His hand and satisfy the desires of everything.
All right, I think I got a good shot. We'll see. I'm walking fast because I lost track of time like I always do. I'm out here flying the drone. I just got a text saying, hey, we have small group tonight, don't we? I'm leading a digital small group, so I gotta hurry up and get back. While I'm walking back, the last thing that I learned this month is just the importance of pause. It might seem like to take an hour out of the day just to walk and pray could hinder my productivity. But what I learned is that sometimes pause is the only way to be able to continue to go. Sometimes we get caught up in such a busy lifestyle of just go, 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 go. But it's so important to pause, to reflect on God, to reflect on our relationship with Him. And sometimes that's the only way that we can continue to go. And speaking of go, I need to hurry up and get home.
You have reached the voicemail box of...
I know I said I was gonna start running next month. I'm running now. The funny thing is that the group I'm leading tonight is about prayer, and I'm gonna be late to it because I was in the middle of the woods making a video about prayer. The irony. All right, so small group went really well. We prayed, we talked about prayer. I barely made it back in time, and actually as I was running back, the camera actually fell out of my book bag. Thankfully the camera's fine, but my Gorilla Pod broke, so I really hope that I can fix that, even though I do need a new one anyway.
You need a lot of new video equipment.
Okay, I told you guys, prayer is awesome. That was a prayer answered right there. All right, well, I can't set up the tripod anymore because it broke. But the last thing that I just wanted to share with you guys that I learned from this Pray 100 was just about never being satisfied with your prayer life. Like, I feel like my prayer life has increased a lot since that conference in October. I've been trying to be really intentional about praying, but I think that the time when I say I've reached it, I pray as much as I want every single day, I have a expert level prayer life. That's usually a huge indication that my prayer life is not nearly as strong as it should be. So I want to encourage you guys, don't be content with where you are with your prayer life, with however much you pray. If you do pray, I want you to encourage you to use this next month, use this next period in your life, however long that takes, to try and be intentional about taking your prayer life to the next level. Today that this is coming out is May 1st, which means if you want to start the Pray 100 challenge for the month of May, it's not too late. So I want to encourage you guys to do that because this month has been absolutely incredible for me, and I want you guys to experience that same thing. So thanks for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys on another video. I literally just set that shot up just so I can get a thumbnail.